Good morning. After that intense traffic update and of course in the headlines, now let's flip the pages a bit and let's talk about politics and matters affecting you. It was a weekend. It was a long weekend. A lot of things happened, and let's just get the state moving. Right now, it's in politics today. We are glad to be joined by Ugunja Member of Parliament, that is Honorable Opiyo Wandayi, who is live with me in studio here. And of course, we are also joined by Honorable Gladwell Cheruyiot, or Tungo, joining me all the way from Nakuru County. She is the woman representative of Baringo County. It's going to be an amazing show. If you have got any comment, questions, we will be sampling them in the course of this broadcast. So let's get this moving. Let me start by welcoming you, Honorable Opiyo Wandayi, in studio. Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us. You were caught up in traffic.
Thank you, Victor.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here at KBC.
All right.
After a long time.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It must have been a very good moment for most Kenyans after the president's pronouncement that, secession is now over and Kenyans can now move. Perhaps the economy was hurting. What's your take on that, Mheshimiwa?
Well, the reopening of the country,
yes,
in my view, was inevitable. Yes, because the economy, both at the macro level and at the households level, was really hurting. And given the fact that the coronavirus pandemic is something which will be here with us for some time. Yes, definitely the country had to find a mechanism of continuing its operations, even as we take those measures that would inhibit the spread of the virus.
Yes.
Yes. So the president did a good thing. I'm sure he listened to the views and cries of many Kenyans all over the country. Yes. Yeah, because without the economy working, the country cannot move. Yes, and that is very, very critical. You look at the sectors, key sectors such as transport.
Yes.
Okay.
And the tourism.
Tourism,
yes,
was virtually dead.
Yes.
Dead, yes. And our economy cannot sustain that. Yes, because we are a very fragile economy that depends largely on the service industry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you seeing a situation where we are going to have a comeback and everything just going to be stable once more?
Well, no one actually had predicted that we would have a third wave of this virus.
Yes.
Or this pandemic.
Yeah.
But it came. We are seeing the positivity rate declining steadily, which is a positive sign.
Yeah.
Yes, we just hope that that downward trend will continue. Yes, so that our economy can continue to operate, at least to near normal.
Yeah.
Yes, but again, this is a novel virus. No one knows how it's going to behave in the next few months or so. Yes, we must be prepared. That's why it is important that we take precautions.
Yeah.
Yes, we implement those measures that have been recommended by the health experts, even as we reopen the economy.
Yeah.
Yes, because we've seen what's happening in India. Actually, no one ever expected India to be in such a situation as we speak. Yes, but there they are. Yes, and we don't wish to be in a situation such as that one, because our economy is much more fragile than India's, for instance.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Mheshimiwa, just hold that and let me now welcome Honorable Gladys Cheruyiot. Gladwell, thank you so much for joining us. Good morning, Mheshimiwa, from wherever you're watching from Nakuru. How is Nakuru doing, Mheshimiwa, this morning?
Yeah, it's shiny. Like you see, I'm working from outside. It's shiny, it is good.
Yes.
And I'm glad to be here with you.
Absolutely. Rift Valley is a hub of tourism sectors, and people used to travel to the Rift Valley to visit different places. How did the cessation affect tourism sector in your region, more so in Baringo County?
It is not a Baringo County issue. It's a Kenyan issue.
Yes.
So the same way any other tourism site is affected, equally Baringo is also affected. And it is something that is a nationwide impact that you are feeling. And so it is not specific to a county or a region. So this is through, because the pandemic is worldwide, then tourism is also affected worldwide.
Yes.
It's a global issue.
Okay, Mheshimiwa, just hold on there. We'll get back to you briefly. Let's get into the whole debate here, Mheshimiwa, and starting with you, Mheshimiwa Wandayi. Last week, you made, let me put it this way, a passionate call on members of the Luo Nyanza that Luo Nyanza is intact and supporting Raila Odinga. What informed this kind of pronouncement last week?
Well, you know, last week was a critical stage.
Yes.
In the BBI journey. It's a stage where the BBI bill was finally on the floor of the House for debate. And a number of discordant voices were being heard, okay, from far and wide, over the bill and how to go about it. And this was sending mixed signals, not only to our constituents, but to Kenyans generally. And that's why we found it fit that we come out to state our position on the BBI bill that was before Parliament then.
Yes.
In fact, it still is, when as we speak. And that is basically what we did, because we are elected leaders to represent first our constituencies, but secondly to represent the whole country.
Yes.
Yes. So on a critical matter such as the BBI, it is important that our voices should be heard.
Yes.
And more so when there are contentious issues, some of which we believe were being brought up with sinister motives. Yes. Sinister motives because this BBI process has been long, and it's one of the most inclusive processes that you can never talk of in this country, right from the inception.
Yes.
You know how the BBI task force went around the country seeking the views of the Wananchi, and then condensing these views into the documents such as the BBI bill, which is before Parliament as we speak.
Yes.
And therefore, we would have expected issues to be thrashed out along the way. Yeah. So what was baffling us is that some leaders would want to wait up to the tail end of the process, and then start raising issues which should have been raised much earlier. Yes, in appropriate fora.
Yes.
Yes. So we saw this as an attempt, a belated attempt to scuttle the BBI process.
Yes.
And not just the BBI process. Our thinking was that whoever wants to scuttle the BBI process was intent on collapsing the handshake.
Are you sure about that?
Because as you know,
yes,
BBI is a product of the handshake. Yes, anytime you scuttle it, you are in essence trying to torpedo the handshake.
Yes.
And we had to come out to rescue the process. Yes. From these machinations by people who definitely don't mean well.
Yes.
Yes. We could see external hands.
Yes.
Yes. In this matter.
In this matter.
Yes. And
okay.
That's why we are concerned.
Let me just bring in Honorable Gladwell here. Honorable Gladwell, you've heard what Honorable Opiyo Wandayi is saying, that they're suspecting, or he's rather suspecting, that there's some external hands affecting the process of the BBI. This is coming from ODM Member of Parliament. What is your take on that? Do you believe such statements?
I'm in full support of him. Because what we saw, or what we are seeing in the House, is that some people are working very hard to really paint that document negatively, and to be seen that it's a document which has not been worked for on fully, a faulty document. But the sarcasm is the time that views were being collected, the same characters were not even available to give out their views.
Yes.
To give out their side of information to build this document. In fact, they had formed their own mind. They had formed their own mind, negative mind on the document even before it was even drafted.
Yes.
So from the word go, they were actually not even ready to listen to what the task force was saying, to what people were trying to input on the document. And it was a very, very tough time for those of us who are for the BBI. Mm-hmm. And so they right now, after some time, they said, oh, we were not opposing, who said we are opposing? But what we are seeing at the floor, in the floor of the House, yes, is that the same characters are really opposing the document. Mm-hmm. And I was challenging some. I was telling them, when you are being called to bring your views, you are nowhere to be found. And some of them even make sure that in their areas of representation, they are inciting the public so that they cannot be found to input. So, of course, my colleague there is very, very clear, and I'm also in support of what he's saying.
Yes.
That some people, they are working very the efforts that were made by His Excellency the President and Right Honorable Oloo Odinga.
Yes.
So for me, it is the side that we are in support of BBI. We need to be a bit more keen. Mm-hmm. We need to be more cautious, so that at this, like he's putting entail of the game, we don't find those people who are not involved anywhere and they were negative from the word go, coming mm-hmm. to really curtail this document. It is high time we pass this document and move. In any case, we are not expecting to get a perfect document. No human being is perfect. And like many other people are putting, there are only two books that are perfect documents. Mm-hmm. The Bible and the Quran. The rest will be amended and amended. And for those of us whose time is now to serve, we have done it to that level. When it comes to another level, let another team or another team of people who are going to serve that time look mm-hmm. at what is not possible, what is not working, and they do what? They again amend. Yes. And because I want to say like this, people should not think that now we have to really make the document meet everybody's expectations. Mm. It is not possible. It has to be a balance of things, which might not please me at some point, please another person. And when that time comes again to change, they will, because after all, life is very dynamic. Politics yes. is also dynamic. And so for that reason, we are going to be changing this thing from time to time to suit that period of time of leadership. So for yes. now, this is legacy for the two. They are trying to bring a remedy. Let's not run away. Let's not actually fight it. It is not in good taste. It is not yes. fair. Okay. If we can actually, if this document can assist us get an election that cannot shed people's blood, mm-hmm. well, let's try on it this time round, and we can see what it is bringing before we really castigate it.
Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you, Mheshimiwa.
And my colleague there and others who are for BBI, we need to join hands so strongly. Mm-hmm. And unless our principles tell us otherwise, we are in support as before.
Okay. Mheshimiwa, we'll come back to you shortly. Let me just bring back Honorable Wandayi here. Your statement in Parliament last week that this is a time, this opportunity that we have to make the amendments, and it is quite a valuable opportunity for Kenyans and members of Parliament to work through this process. And here you're saying that there's some external forces who are trying to scuttle the whole process as it is right now. What do you think is going to be the outcome this week?
You know, Victor, before I tell you
yes,
the likely outcome this week, mm-hmm. I just want to remind you and other Kenyans
yes,
that we need not forget history. At any given moment, when we are discussing serious issues such as this one. It must be remembered that we fought, we struggled to ensure that we have an opportunity to implement these constitutional changes.
Yes.
That are now in the BBI bill. You will recall that in the last parliament, we even initiated what was then referred to as the Okoa Kenya initiative, which was also a people-driven process to attempt to change the constitution. And despite getting support of more than 1 million Kenyans, I'm sure about that because I was involved. Yes, in this process, intensely. What happened? The IBC just rubbished it by a stroke of a pen that you guys, you haven't reached the 1 million threshold of signatures. And that was the end of it. So what does it tell you? That to effect constitutional changes or any major reforms for that matter, we require a political consensus. Now that political consensus has only been made possible because of the handshake between His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga and President Uhuru Kenyatta. Anybody who is denying that is basically living in Ethiopia, so some foreign universe. So you must understand that. And therefore, when you come in at the tail end of this very delicate process, to start cherry picking, to start playing politics of brinkmanship at the instigation of some hidden hands, then we call you out.
Mheshimiwa, who are these people?
Yes, we call you out.
Who are these people?
It is clear that from the very beginning, there are people who were not happy with the handshake. Okay? In fact, that grouping later on coalesced under the so-called Tanga umbrella, which again has mutated into something called UDA. But they have their friends all over. Including within ODM and within these other parties.
So in essence, you're saying that there are some people in ODM who have hands with UDA and the Tanga team trying to scuttle the whole process?
You know, I've been around for some time. Yes. And I know when something is not right. I know when there are machinations being perpetrated from outside. And I know when there's connivance. So when I say that there's a possibility of some elements within our movement working with the enemies of the handshake and the BBI, it is not far-fetched. And mark you, in ODM, I am the Secretary for Political Affairs.
Yes.
Which position makes it possible for me to know a lot of things. Not only in ODM, but on the entire political landscape in the country. Okay? Yes. So when you start behaving in a manner that lends credence to the position, the contrary positions taken by our adversaries, then we must ask you to go slow. Yes, because you know, Victor, constitution making process
is a tedious process and a long one.
Long, tedious, but also delicate. It calls for serious give and take. Okay? You can never win always. You will never win, really. So you must give and take. There must be a spirit of compromise. Okay? You win here, you lose here. Okay? Somebody else wins there, loses there.
So, are you trying to say that some people are trying to betray ODM or ODM leader Raila Odinga and the handshake in general?
No, I don't want to dwell on that. What I'm saying is that at this critical juncture,
yes,
in this process, we need to put all our minds and energies and together and direct them towards this noble cause. Okay?
Yes.
Yes, we need to discard any secondary issues that could interfere with this process. There will always be divergence of opinion, okay? Which is also healthy.
Right.
Yes. But there's a line.
Right.
There's a red line which one needs not to cross. Okay? In the political world, okay? And in most advanced systems,
yes,
there must be order in political organizations.
Yes.
So an organization such as ODM, which is well established, okay, with well-known ideology, okay, there is a leadership structure, okay?
Yes.
At the apex of which is the party leader.
Right.
Yes. So when the party leader pronounces himself on a policy issue, as serious such as the BBI bill, it's expected that the rank and file of the party would fall in line. Yes, that is expected. That is the bare minimum that's expected of you.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay.
Yes, and more so if an issue that the party leader has pronounced himself on repeatedly, you would have no excuse to try to second guess him. Yes.
Let me bring in Honorable Gladwell here. Honorable, the BBI talks about inclusivity. So far, are you happy with some of the clauses attached to women empowerment and inclusivity and affirmative action in the bill as it is right now?
It is actually solving most of the problems that we have.
Yes.
In the current constitution. We may not attain 100%, but it is an improvement of the prior one, if it comes to pass. And it also gives women powers to really not just wait to be given, to fight for positions. And the one that is so encouraging is the Senate position. You see, what we have been thinking about is talking about most of the time is to that gender.
Okay, it seems that we've lost Honorable Gladwell there. We'll try and reconnect that, the issue of network and just doing this live. I've always told you, it's the beauty of having kind of a live transmission. Mheshimiwa, we'll try to get you connected back to the line. Let me just talk to Honorable. Okay, she's back. Mheshimiwa, please carry on.
I'm saying,
yes,
we might not get 100% satisfaction.
All right.
Of issues that the fact remains that in the current BBI bill, the amendment that's coming, there is a lot of encouragement to make women be firm and actually go for positions other than being given. And the one that is so smart is the Senate position, where the two-third gender rule is fully adhered to in Senate. When the BBI passes, we shall have 50-50 in that house. 50% women, 50% men, which has been a real problem. And I was putting it, it is unfortunate that the Constitution, as a legislator or a legislative house, we were not able to really implement that part of the Constitution, that clause to that gender rule. But now, it is very, very clear with this BBI how this will be arrived at, but not by being given. So women will fight for positions. They'll get the courage to really go for them. So they cannot be waiting to be given. So to me, this bill is going to empower women. We are seeing reduced nominations. People will be going to buy. And it gives you a chance to really be nominated after buying. Not like I was putting it on a light note, I was telling people, it gives respect to women other than what is there currently, where people think women are nominated through maybe three directions or three options. That is maybe boardroom or bedroom, which has not been very palatable for us women. But now with this bill, it is going to sort it. It gives us the dignity in leadership. Even if you are nominated, it will be fair. You will have to fight to be nominated. You'll have to work for that party to be nominated. So it gives us respect as women and dignity. It gives us the power to fight other than just being given. So to me, this bill, amendment bill, is going to assist women a big way. It's going to reduce the gender parity. And we are going to actually have a country whereby the bigger resource, which is human resource, which is the women percentage, is going to be happy, and we are going to move together so that we develop this country together. Otherwise, up to this day, we feel left out. We feel we are not considered to be really rolling the wheel of economy of this country, and we want to be there. And this is the only thing BPI. And let me tell you, Victor, I don't understand actually how a woman, leave alone even men, how a woman can oppose this bill. It is in bad taste, and they are not actually representing the women of this country. Because even after looking at everything else, women would have settled on what is benefiting women.
Okay.